The storyline of CBS's The Bold and the Beautiful has taken a shocking and emotional turn, with several characters grappling with life-changing decisions, family conflicts, and moral dilemmas. The latest twist introduces a series of revelations, power plays, and moments of intense personal struggle, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats. In a dramatic new chapter of the series, Bridget, Will, Luna, and Electra are caught in a web of secrets, betrayals, and desperate choices that will define their futures. It all begins when Bridget reveals the shocking news: Will is the father of her unborn child. This revelation sends shockwaves through the family, as Bridget had been hiding the truth for some time. The gravity of this revelation stuns everyone, but perhaps none more than Electra. She's devastated, not only by the news of Will's infidelity with Luna, but also because she had been hoping to start a family with him. However, fate takes an even crueler turn when Electra, during a routine visit to the doctor, learns that she is infertile. The diagnosis is heartbreaking, and Electra is faced with a painful truth that will forever change her life. Unable to bear the idea of losing her dream of motherhood, Electra proposes a solution. Once Luna gives birth, she and Will could adopt the child. Electra presents this idea with a kind heart, offering to raise the baby as her own, believing it to be the only way for her to experience the joy of motherhood. Will, although stunned by the revelation of Electra's infertility, feels a sense of relief that Electra is not angry with him. Her suggestion shows a level of understanding and compassion that he had not expected. Given the circumstances, the guilt over his affair with Luna still lingers in his heart. But Electra's willingness to put aside her pain for the sake of the child brings him a small amount of peace. The negotiations between Will and Luna are tense. Will tries to convince Luna that the adoption arrangement is the best option, believing it would bring peace to all parties involved. Luna, however, is resolute in her decision to keep the baby. She feels an intense connection to the child growing inside her, and the idea of handing over her baby to anyone, even Electra, is something she cannot fathom. Her maternal instincts are strong, and she refuses to let go of the life she's carrying, no matter what. For Luna, the child represents more than just a new beginning. It is a symbol of hope and love, a bond she cannot sever. But things take a darker turn when Bill, Will's powerful and manipulative father, steps in. Bill has always been a force to be reckoned with, and in this situation, he sees an opportunity to get what he wants. He pressures Luna into a corner, using his vast resources and influence to force her into a difficult decision. Bill gives Luna two choices. Either she agrees to give the baby to Electra and Will, or she will be forced to face legal consequences. His words are laced with threat and coercion, making it clear that the stakes are high. If Luna refuses, Bill warns her, she will be sent to prison. It is an ultimatum that leaves Luna feeling trapped and desperate. Luna is devastated by Bill's threats. She never imagined that her struggle to keep her child would lead to such a dire situation. As she cries, the weight of the decision presses down on her. She is being torn apart by the demands of the people around her: Will, Electra, and now Bill. Her world is crumbling, and she feels as though she is being pushed into a corner with no way out. She believes that her family is forcing her into a no-win situation, where every choice she makes leads to an unbearable outcome. Luna has always tried to do the right thing, but in this moment, it feels as though nothing she does will ever be enough to please everyone. The emotional toll on Luna is immense. She wonders if she will ever have a say in her own life, or if she will forever be at the mercy of those with more power. Will, though he cares deeply for Luna and the baby, is caught in the middle of a complex web of relationships and obligations. He wants to respect Luna's wishes, but he knows that Bill's influence is impossible to ignore. As much as Will wants to protect Luna, he also knows that if they refuse Bill's ultimatum, the consequences will be catastrophic. The idea of Luna being sent to prison is unthinkable, but so is the thought of losing their child to someone else. The tension in the storyline escalates as the characters face impossible choices. Will tries to make peace with the situation, attempting to balance his duty to his family with his love for Luna. However, it's clear that the situation is far from simple. Luna's determination to keep the baby is met with increasing pressure from all sides, and she begins to doubt whether she will be able to protect her child. Meanwhile, Electra's willingness to adopt the child is seen by many as a selfless act. But for Luna, it feels like a betrayal of her own bond with the baby. She wonders how she can trust that the child will be loved and cared for in the same way she would love her own flesh and blood. As the days pass, the stakes continue to rise. Luna becomes more isolated as she finds herself alone in her fight for the baby. She struggles with the idea of surrendering her child to someone else, especially when it feels like she has no control over the situation. Will's conflicted emotions only add to her frustration. She wishes he would take a stronger stand. But at the same time, she understands that he is under immense pressure from his father. It is a situation where no one wins, and the consequences of every decision are dire. The emotional toll on all the characters is evident. Bridget, who once thought she had the support of her family, now finds herself at odds with her own values. She is torn between wanting what's best for the child and understanding that Will's actions have led them down a difficult path. Her desire to be a mother is in direct conflict with the reality of her situation. Will's affair with Luna has disrupted everything, and now Bridget must navigate the complex web of relationships that have formed around the baby. Electra, though she is doing her best to be understanding and compassionate, cannot hide the hurt she feels. Her infertility has been a crushing blow, and the idea of raising someone else's child is her last chance at motherhood. But even as she clings to this hope, she is aware of the sacrifices it will require. She is willing to give up her own desires for the sake of the child. But the emotional cost of this decision may prove to be too much to bear. As Electra grapples with her own pain, she realizes that her desire to be a mother may come at the expense of her own happiness. Bill, as always, remains a formidable force. His desire to control the situation and ensure that everything goes according to his plan is unwavering. He sees the situation as a means to an end, believing that by forcing Luna into compliance, he will secure a future that benefits him and his family. However, his ruthless tactics may not have the outcome he expects. Luna's resistance is stronger than he anticipates, and the more he tries to manipulate her, the more determined she becomes to fight back. As the story unfolds, it becomes clear that this conflict will not be easily resolved. The characters are caught in a storm of conflicting emotions, desires, and obligations. Luna's fight to keep her child will test her in ways she never imagined, and the choices she makes will have far-reaching consequences for everyone involved. The bonds of family, love, and loyalty will be pushed to their limits, and only time will tell who will emerge victorious in this battle of wills. The drama intensifies as each character navigates their own emotional turmoil, with the fate of the child hanging in the balance. The tension between Will, Luna, Electra, and Bill is palpable, and the consequences of their actions will ripple through their lives for years to come. In the end, the question remains: who will win the ultimate battle for the child, and at what cost? Only time will reveal the answers. As the emotional storm intensifies in The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna's desperation grows. In a heart-wrenching outburst, she cries uncontrollably, her face twisted in fear and anguish. Her tears flow like a river of pain, her voice trembling as she declares to Will, Bill, and Electra that she will not give up her baby. She clutches her growing belly as if it's the only thing tethering her to the world. "I won't give up my child. You can't make me," she cries, her voice raw with emotion. The atmosphere is heavy with tension, as the reality of Luna's refusal to hand over her child sinks in. Bill, the patriarch of the family, known for his ruthlessness, looks at her coldly. "Luna, you don't have a choice. You will do what's best for this family," he warns, his words cutting through the room like a blade. "The baby belongs with us, and we will take it. You're not in a position to argue." But Luna, in her anguish, takes it to a terrifying extreme. Her fear, anxiety, and overwhelming sense of loss manifest in an extreme threat. "If you try to take my baby from me, I'll end it all. I will take these pills, and I won't survive it. You'll never get your hands on my child if I'm gone." Her words are a shocking plea, a cry for mercy that reverberates through everyone in the room. It's a devastating moment of desperation, and it shakes everyone to their core. Will, who has been caught between loyalty to his family and his love for Luna, is visibly shaken. The sight of Luna in such deep distress makes his heart ache, and a sense of guilt floods him. "Luna, please, don't do this. We're not trying to hurt you. We want what's best for everyone. Just let us help you," Will pleads. But Luna's eyes are wide with terror, and she's not listening anymore. Electra, who had been watching the situation unfold with a mix of sadness and empathy, steps forward, her voice softer. "We don't want to force you to do anything, Luna," she says, her tone carrying the weight of her own pain. "But we need this baby. We want to raise this child as our own. We're just asking for you to let us take care of it." But Luna, now completely overwhelmed by the mounting pressure, refuses to hear their pleas. "I can't. You don't understand. You won't understand until you're in my shoes," she sobs, clutching her stomach. "This is my baby, my flesh and blood. I will never let go of them. Not even for you." Realizing that Luna's resistance is unwavering, Will tries a different approach, attempting to placate her with a temporary solution. "Okay, Luna, okay," he says, his voice shaky but calm. "We won't take the baby now. I promise. But after you give birth, we'll have to take the baby. Just for the safety of everyone involved. He hopes that by offering her some time, he can soften the blow. But Luna sees through it immediately. She knows that Will's words are nothing more than a temporary fix. She knows that once the baby is born, they will take it from her. The plan was never for them to give her a chance to raise the child. It was merely to buy them time until the birth. And then they would seize control. Luna can't stand the thought of it. And she knows that if she doesn't act now, she'll never be able to save her baby from the family she believes will take it from her. With a heartbreaking sense of finality, Luna starts packing her things. She doesn't know where she will go or what she will do, but she knows that she has to run. She can't allow them to take her baby. The room feels like it's closing in around her as she grabs her things. Her heart pounding in her chest. Her thoughts are racing, and she is desperate to leave before they have a chance to stop her. Enter Finn, Luna's close friend, who has been quietly watching the unfolding situation from the background. Finn knows that Luna is under immense stress, and he can see that the pressure is crushing her. He has tried to comfort her, but the reality of the situation is clear. Luna is on the edge. And if something isn't done soon, she might make a devastating decision. Finn arrives just as Luna is preparing to flee. Luna, what are you doing? He asks, his voice filled with concern. He watches as she hurriedly shoves clothes into a bag, her movements frantic. Luna, you don't have to do this. Please, we'll find a way out of this together. Luna looks up at him, her face a mixture of fear and resolve. I can't stay here, Finn. If I do, they'll take my baby. They'll take everything from me, she says, her voice breaking. I can't let that happen. I have to leave. I have to protect my baby. Finn steps closer, his face softening. Luna, you're not alone in this. I'll help you. We can escape together. We'll figure this out. No one can force you to do anything you don't want to. Luna, looking into Finn's eyes, can see the genuine concern and care in his expression. She knows that Finn would do anything to help her, and for the first time in what feels like forever, she feels a glimmer of hope. Can you really help me get away? She asks, her voice trembling. Finn nods firmly. I'll get you out of here. I promise. You and your baby will be safe. But as Luna and Finn make plans to leave, there's a sudden knock on the door. Luna freezes, her heart racing in her chest. It's Taylor. The motherly figure who has always been there for Luna has arrived. And she is not going to let Luna leave without answers. Luna, open up, Taylor's voice calls through the door, her tone filled with concern. What's going on in there? I know something's wrong. Luna's heart sinks. She can't let Taylor stop her. Not now, not when she's so close to getting away. But at the same time, she knows that Taylor has always been a good friend. And she doesn't want to hurt her. She doesn't want to push her away. I have to go, Taylor. You don't understand. I can't stay here. I can't let them take my baby, Luna says through the door, her voice muffled with emotion. Taylor, growing more concerned, pushes the door open. Luna, I know you're in pain. I know this is hard for you. But running away won't solve anything. You don't have to do this alone. But Luna, desperate to escape, steps back, her heart pounding in her chest. I have no choice, Taylor. I won't let them take my baby. Finn, now standing beside Luna, realizes the situation has escalated. Taylor, please. You don't understand. Luna needs to leave. It's the only way to protect herself and her child. Taylor looks at Finn with a mix of anger and confusion. What are you talking about? You're encouraging her to run? You can't just let her do this, Finn. This is dangerous. The room fills with tension as Luna stands between her two friends. Caught in the middle of a storm of emotions. Her instinct to protect her baby is stronger than anything else. But at the same time, she doesn't want to push Taylor away. She looks between Finn and Taylor, both of whom she cares about deeply. In the chaos that follows, Luna makes her choice. She must leave, for her baby's sake, and she can't allow anyone to stand in her way. As she heads toward the door with Finn in tow, Taylor reaches out, desperate to stop her. Luna, please, don't do this. You're only making things worse for yourself. But Luna, with tears streaming down her face, opens the door and steps into the unknown. I'm sorry, Taylor, she whispers, her voice breaking. But I have to do this. I have no choice. Finn, seeing Luna's resolve, follows her, ready to help her escape. But as they leave, they know the road ahead will be anything but easy. The battle for Luna's child, her future, and her freedom is just beginning. And no one can predict how it will end. As Luna walks away from everything she's known, the danger she's putting herself in becomes all too clear. And the consequences of her actions will ripple through everyone's lives in ways they can't yet imagine. Will Luna make it to safety? Or will her past, and the people she's running from, catch up with her? The questions linger, And the answers remain uncertain, as the story of Luna's fight for her baby continues to unfold in the most dramatic of ways.